performs today, it's difficult to see how he won't get onto the podium tonight. Michaela, I guess you'd agree with that because he's in a very strong position.
Well, it's happened before. It's happened to myself. It's happened at an Olympic Games. And right now we're in a position where potentially we could be seeing a medal, if not the gold medal, coming from a B group lifter. Now, how has that happened, David?
It's happened quite simply because the coaches put in the entry total. He's put in a total of 320, but when it came to it, actually, he was effectively starting at 340. And so it was, and some people think that it's a way of actually avoiding anti-doping testing, but I can tell you for a fact that the anti-doping people here, they don't just choose the medalists, they can choose anybody they want for both urine and blood testing, and as far as I understand it, he will be tested. So the start list there shows the men in the lineup today with their body weights, which are not so relevant. More about that when we come back. We're just a couple of minutes away from the start. On stage, this is Dimitri Qatari of Romania. This was his performance in the first half, the snatch division, 160 kilos. And Michaela, well, still a bit mysterious as to why the coach put him in, but this is his clean and jerk. He went 190, 195, and this for 200 for a total of 360 to put real pressure on everybody who's going to lift tonight.
Well, he's put some serious pressure on everybody else. This is a massive total, 200 kilos here at a body weight of just 77, squat jerk to boot. Very impressive to watch, but what have the coaches done here? They've declined us from seeing him on TV, from seeing the big lifts made. They put in a 320 total. Well, his starting weight's added up to 340. He's actually finished in 360.
Well, there you have some of the champions of the past, and you can see the Eastern European influence on this category, going all the way back to 1999, 1998 when these weight categories were established. I will remind you as we go through this competition as to the new rule as opposed to the body weights to determine position. But here on the right of your screen there, you can see the opening weights that each of the lifters has asked their coach to enter for them. It's more of a guide than anything else, but it just tells us, gives us an idea of if they've done well in the warm-up as much as anything else. So all to play for, and with that big total of Qatari, obviously it's going to be a long time till anybody gets near him.
Okay,
well, there you can see the world and European records. European record for a total 377 for a clean and jerk, 210. So we're not going to get to that tonight, but this is the beginning of a new Olympic cycle building up to the Tokyo Games, and it's the first of two German lifters out onto the stage. Nico Muller, who lives not too far away from Heidelberg, 10th in the Olympic Games in Rio. On that occasion, lifted 151 kilos in Brazil last summer. So just to remember, Qatari, 160 kilos in the snatch, just to give a bit of perspective. German camp in good spirits after the medals of Robert Joachim last evening in the men's 69-kilo competition.
Well, the Germans have clearly come into this event and they're looking in great shape. Good opening lift by Nico Muller. Be a great start. Every lifter plans and prepares for this moment, and they always hope that the first lift is good. It just puts the nerves at bay and allows them to settle into their routine.
Yeah, Nico, he's got a brother, Adrian, who's also a weightlifter. And there's the Belarus competitor. That's Vadzim Likarad, fifth in Europe a couple of seasons ago. And the bar going up to 145 for possibly, I know. Let's just wait for a moment.
Yeah, we've learned our lesson over the last few days.
Right, so a quick moment now. Rules and regulations. Body weight now does not determine places. It's all about what you lift. And the first lifter to any particular weight is the leader. Anybody who comes after him who wants the same weight won't go into the lead. They'll have to do at least a kilo more. So it is Mata for Spain. Andres Mata, 7th in the Olympics. Former junior world bronze medalist. 145 kilos to open up.
Well, disappointing opener for Mata. If we watch the replay, just came onto his toes slightly as he came off the floor. The movement from the floor to the knees is so, so important. It's close, but no cigar.
Yeah, it shouldn't be a weight that's a problem to him. I mean, he finished 7th in Europe last year, and 152 kilos was his achievement on that occasion. And now Russia, Sergey Petrov. From Novokuznetsk in Siberia. That's better.
Well, that's the way to do it. Controlled off the floor, but explosive through the middle and lightning quick underneath. Those of you watching back home, well, just get yourself a broomstick and see how quickly you can get underneath it. And that said, I still haven't forgotten about David's challenge of...
We must move on. Back to Spain and Andres Mata. Second attempt at 145.
I'm going to get you lifting by the end of the week, David.
We must focus on the Spanish lifter. That's much better.
It is. I'm not sure how many more kilos are there, but that was a great recovery on a second attempt. Remember, these lifters only get 3 attempts at the snatch and 3 attempts at the clean and jerk. And to clarify, that's not 3 attempts at each weight. 3 attempts in total. Best 2 lifts added together will give you a total. That's how the positions are decided.
Yeah, he lifted 153 in the Olympic Games in Rio. That's just about his top mark in this particular discipline. So now Bulgaria and Yunda Beytola, 10th in Europe, 148 kilos, so 146 just inside that. Has moved up from 69 kilos. Last year was lifting at this weight category of 77 kilos. 20 seconds remaining to get the bar moving above the knees. Ten seconds.
Oh, he's not going to get that. Even if he did stand, movement in the elbow. Not the tidiest of lifters. We just see the head throwing back as he comes off the floor, and that is going to take his shoulders backwards. Consequently, hips will go forwards. Put a swing on the bar. And it's very difficult to stabilise overhead.
One thing that's going to be absolutely fascinating this evening is the fact that Romania, of course, with Dimitri Qatari, with this very impressive 360. Of course, there's another Romanian who's in the final here tonight, and this is Constantin Martin Razvan, who entered a total of 345. And I wonder how he's going to do up against his teammate.
Yeah, I mean, I just can't believe the weights that we've seen here from the B group. They are massive, so he's there to be shot at now by everybody else. You have recorded the Romanian's previous best lifts from the B group. Is that a significant improvement on his best?
What he did last year, he did 156, 192, 348, Qatari.
342, so we're looking at 18 kilo improvement.
No, 348, so he's total up 360s, 12 kilos up from last year. And the Bulgarian, nobody wants 146, so it's down to him to come out for his second attempt.
Bulgaria.
And he now has a major problem. Two failures, real pressure, and so early in the day, so early in the evening, one man now in danger of not getting a total.
Well, he's clearly strong enough in the legs, but technically whipping the shoulders back. That's a result of his head throwing back. Starting very close to his best here, so he's put himself under pressure before he even came out. One attempt remaining now.
The clean and jerk, obviously, in its two phases, is more forgiving, which in turn allows you to lift greater weight.
Yeah, more forgiving because it's a smaller movement.
But this requires absolute precision.
To be fair, both lifts require a serious amount of precision here. The timing has got to be impeccable. The balance, the coordination, combined obviously with the power, the speed, the strength. It's a culmination of so many different components of fitness. These lifters have to be absolutely spot on and in top form when they step onto this platform, because they are pushing themselves right to the max.
But I've always regarded this particular discipline as being so unforgiving.
I preferred this.
This was your favourite, wasn't it? You preferred this discipline. For some reason you've never explained to me.
Well, I guess more of a technician, and I was quite tall for my weight category, so the clean and jerk for me was always harder.
So, of course, Petula having to follow himself now. He's got plenty of time, but so there's no urgency, but it's absolutely vital. And this is really good. Spectators realise what the situation is, so a lot of applause. They're on his side, and hopefully he'll know that. But now he's just got to go into that zone and deliver. 20 seconds remaining on the clock.
Game over.
Well, that's terribly disappointing, and it's not the way we like to start a competition. And we've lost one in terms of the fight for the overall medals.
Well, always disappointing. You spend so many weeks and months training for this moment, for it to go out the back door 3 times like that. Well, he's got to go back to the drawing board now.
Nico Muller out onto the stage. Second attempt, and $5-kilo increase, 30-second buzzer. Better than the first, and a solidly good second attempt.
Yeah, very impressed, as we always are with the Germans. Technically precise, and I know as they go through the youth junior ranks, they get the technique absolutely spot on. They quite simply don't progress until it is spot on, and that's absolutely the right way to be. Minimise the risk of injury and maximise the efficiency.
Most of the German lifters that you'll see at these championships this week will be members of the German army, which facilitates them in the sense that they can full-time train.
We have the tapes, 150, please.
Now, bar going to 150 for tonight's Romanian, Constantin Martin Razvan, one of 3 competitors in the lineup tonight who have, in recent years, served their time for the crime. In his case, he was off the stage from 2013 to 2015 and disqualified from the European Championships in 2013. Razvan Martin for Romania. 150. Opening up on the same weight as Dimitri Qatari, his teammate, earlier in the day from the B group. Well, that was explosive, and he whipped that overhead.
Well, that was a power snatch. Extremely explosive, extremely dynamic. You see this from the start position, from the side. Fairly sure his back's not even straight. Very rounded in the back. Not the way you want to be copying. If you're watching back home, you don't want to be copying this style of lift. But my goodness me, is he strong and powerful.
A former European champion back in 2012. And other honours I'll talk about a little later as we see Max Lange, the second of the German contenders from Lyman. Again in the German army. Under-23 silver medal some 3 years ago in the European Championships in Limassol. Well, this is better lifting now.
Well, that's superb lifting, really dynamic and explosive.
He's got a couple of kilos to go to get on terms with his previous personal best. But I really do respect the way the German team prepare their athletes. Back to Spain. Now, you didn't think he had much more in the locker, did you? So, are you feeling optimistic? No.
Just based on the previous 2 attempts, you know, come on, I hope he gets this. I really do. Seem to be lacking a bit through the middle. That was better, much better extension. Why didn't we see that on the first couple of lifts? He's fired up now.
Yeah, just a little bit too late, really.
There's a different lifter to what we saw previously. Here he really opens up, gets extension at the hip.
Mata up into 5th place. Early days, but just to let you know what's happening. Dimitri Qatari from the B group in the lead with 160. Razvan Martin, the other Romanian, you've just seen him a moment ago, 150. Max Lange, 150. That's the 1, 2, 3, and this is Sergey Petrov. European silver medalist in 2015 and again last year, but at 69 kilos. So new weight category for 2017. And that extra kilo, 151, puts him into 2nd place ahead of Martin of Romania and Lange of Germany. But they're still, or he is, 9 kilos shy of Qatari. And as ever, Michaela, if he wanted to beat Qatari, he's going to have to achieve 161. Nico Muller. 151 on the bar for Nico. 3rd and final attempt. Not quite as good as last year. He managed 153 in Norway. Well, it only moved the bar at 5 seconds, and mind and body parted company at that moment.
Well, his head was never in it, but if you look at the position, you know, it's a very good high pull, but unfortunately we don't high pull when we're lifting. It's not the same movement. You never, ever get to that position when you're lifting. The arm bend is as you're dropping under. If you watch any lifter, they'll be at the bottom before the bar changes direction. It's a training exercise that a lot of lifters do. It's not something I endorse for that simple reason.
Bar to 153 kilos for the first appearance of Belarus's Vadzim Likarad from Lida. It's a town about 160 kilometers from the Belarus capital of Minsk. And the guy you're about to see now, here he is, 5th in Europe a couple of seasons ago, lifted 155 at that stage. And Vadzim now 24, so putting a total of 346, which is a decent enough total. That's 10 kilos up on his previous best.
Oh, very nice, really quick. Knew exactly where that bar was going. He was in full control all the way through.
But if they want to get to Qatari, Michaela, these guys, they're going to have to start looking at 4 and 5 kilo increases.
Well, yeah, but not if they're not capable of it. I mean, they've got to lift, not within themselves, but they've got to make sure, first and foremost, they get a lift on the board, which is what they're doing, bar 1. And from there, they can build. And as we saw in previous competitions, it's not the weights you start on that are important, it's what you finish on.
Yeah, but I'm almost reflecting the opening weights posted in the clean and jerk in the context that Qatari ended up on 200. I'm looking at a list there which is telling me 175, 180. And Qatari...
No, I think quite right. I'm fairly sure, looking at the board, that Qatari will get a medal.
Only question is, will it be the shiniest one? Probably, possibly. So Max Lange out now, second attempt, 154. This will be a new personal best in this particular discipline. Arms almost out at the extremities of the bar. Clock at 20 seconds, counting down.
He's got it. Solid as. No need for his feet to be returned to the start position. So long as the feet are in line, it's absolutely fine. No wrist supports, no knee supports.
So Max Lange goes into silver medal position in the snatch division. And smartly out Sergey Petrov. This is his last attempt. Now he's in 4th place, but this would only lift him up to 3rd if he gets it. So, Razvan Martin with 2 attempts to come. But of course, at this stage, we should just mention that there are 2 Albanians in this. Former world champions who had their gold medals cancelled, who've yet to start.
It'll be interesting to see what they can do, how close they can get to their bests.
Well, there's the Albanian contingent, and it'll be Erkan Karimay to start. European champion in 2014. But spent 2 years off the competition stage between December 2012 and 2014. Back in 2014 when he won this title. 155 was what he lifted in the snatch division. That's what he's starting on today.
With a small step backwards, he needed that just to get himself back underneath the bar. You can see from the replay, though, very, very fast in the transition from full extension to dropping under. And he is starting heavy here. 155, his best at 158. So he's had a couple of years off the stage, but he's back with a vengeance. And he's not the most consistent of lifters, so it's good to see that he's got his first attempt on the board.
Razvan Martin for Romania, 155, so a 5 kilo increase for him on his second attempt. And new territory, but no problem.
Again, pretty much a power snatch. For those watching back home, the difference between a power snatch and a squat snatch is where you receive the bar. Power is anything above a 90-degree knee bend. Okay, that was just below, but still catching it very, very high.
But interesting, because the Albanian, okay, he's got 2 attempts left, but Martin has only got 1, and to take the lead, he would have to take 6 kilos the next time. On a third attempt, is that what you want to be doing?
Well, he looks good for it,
yeah.
But you don't normally take a 5 kilo between first and second, and then a 6 kilo between second and third. It's normally a bit less between second and third.
Now, Godelli, only back from his disqualification. And 156 to take the lead, but not achieved.
No, really lacking the upward extension that's necessary to get the height on the bar. Just see how strong these guys are in the leg. Whips his shoulders so far back.
2-time European silver medalist at 69 and at 77 kilos. And former junior world champion. So these 2 Albanians and the Romanian now locked in battle. Still, of course, though, Max Lange for Germany with an attempt to come.
There's just been a change here. Another lifter was called, but the clock's gone back to Godelli.
There you can see the state of play. Right down the bottom there, Batula failed all 3 attempts. Godelli has got to make amends, and of course, having failed that now, that has really already limited his possibilities.
Well, you would think so, but just looking at the board now, he's increased his second attempt, so he's not going to take that 156 again. He's gambling. He's going up to 158.
This is a characteristic of Albanian lifting, and there's nothing wrong in it if you can deliver. And Max Lange going to 156, currently in 4th place, and that means he's going to go into the medals, and whoever wants to overtake him is going to have to do 157. So this for the silver medal position, 156, a new personal best attempt. Can he control this? Clock counting down, 15 seconds at the moment. Coming to 10. Oh, he can. Isn't that good?
Yeah, superb lifting by Max. 3 from 3, 150, 154, 156. I think he's going to be pretty chuffed with himself. And that is a new personal best.
Yeah, and you can't underestimate, you know, as I said, the boost that Robert Joachim gave the squad last night.
Sure, but don't take the credit away from Max here. Technically very, very proficient. gets into great positions, and he sets himself up then for the opportunity to do what he's just done. He set a new personal best only last month, and he's done it again now.
So, Likarad, second attempt, 157. And this again is an attempt for a new personal best. Come on. That's super.
Needs to stand still before the down signal, though.
Yeah, but he was steady, and that's a good lift, and showed an awful lot of fight and determination.
I'm not sure steady's the word I would use. He was the shot.
No, I was concentrating on his feet. Okay.
I'm winding you up, David. Absolutely fought to the end. Nearly lost it behind, nearly lost it in front. The body shaking underneath just shows how much pressure these guys are under. 158 at a body weight of sub 77 kilos. We are over double body weight in the snatch.
Well, this is really fascinating at the moment. Now, Godelli, of course, he's just waiting in the wings at the moment. Bar at 158 now. And this is for Karimai, his Albanian teammate. He finds himself down in 4th place. Now, this is only a 3 kilo increase. But nonetheless, this will put him into overall silver, ahead of Likarad. A crucial failure.
A crucial failure, but for his sake, he's got one on the board. And the reason I said that on his first attempt was he bombed last year at the Europeans. He bombed as well in 2010. He's renowned for missing the snatches.
Yeah, I was just thinking in the context, had he got it, he would have only been another 3 kilos away from going after Qatari. And that, theoretically...
Well, you just see how far he throws his shoulders back. Very slim chance of landing it.
So Godelli, 158, hasn't got a score on the board, but 158 would put him into silver medal position.
No, it's gone. Well, was that too risky to go up from 156 where he failed it? He's gone up to 158. Well, let's have a look at this and see if we get a side replay. Same problem. This is where the Albanians are a little rough on the technical side. Throws the shoulders back. Again, he just put so much swing on the bar. Not how it should be done.
Well, we were chatting about this earlier on, you know. I mean, the Albanians, I have to say, they do have a high percentage of failure. And, you know, Romela Begay earlier today, she was way down and not looking as solid as a few years back. And now Romania, third and final attempt. Romania versus Romania. And Razvan Martin makes it Romania 1, Romania 2 in the order, but Qatari, last year's bronze medalist, who lifted earlier in the day, still remains in the gold medal position by 2 kilos over his teammate.
Well, we suspected that this might be the case coming into the halfway stage. 160 is a huge weight to beat from the B group, and these guys right now feeling the pressure.
Karimai out at 158 again. Now, this can only put him into the bronze medal position. He cannot overtake Martin because Martin got to 158 earlier, well, first, ahead of this man. So this to move him up from fifth into third place. And I'm afraid that Albanian low percentage of lifting is showing once again.
I think that clipped him on the way down as well, didn't it? Ideally, you want to offload the weight if it's going behind or in front. Just watch this. I think it catches his upper back as it comes down. Oof, just glances down his back. He was lucky there.
Well, Godelli, what's he gone to now? He's gone to 161. It's all or nothing.
Well, he's going to have a go. This is what you call very, very high-stakes poker. Failed at 156, failed at 158, and what the heck, let's go to 161.
However, before that, Vadzim Likarad of Belarus, who's already set a new personal best. He's got one attempt, 2 kilo increase. That's well measured. And he's sitting on 157. He's not bothered about Qatari. He's lifting within his own range and going for 159, which would move him from 3rd to 2nd, ahead of Martin. And if he does it, he's assured, whatever Godelli does, he's assured of a medal. That's the value of getting this lift, but it's a bigger question. 7 seconds, 6, 5 seconds, needs to move. Well, he showed a real fighter determination on the second attempt.
Well, this is a lift that is almost a complete opposite to what we've seen so far in the competition. Very, very good technically, but lacking somewhat in the shoulder strength and stability here. He's got it. It's there. Just doesn't have the legs and the shoulder stability to stand. What a shame.
Yeah, that is a pity. So the bar going to 161 and only one lift remaining. And as you said, high stakes poker. He's shoved all the chips into the middle of the table. And this is make or break. He makes it, he wins the gold medal. He breaks it, and he ain't got a total, and he's nowhere. So this is really 0 to hero. Would you believe it? 2 to 1, so it's a split decision.
He doesn't have a great elbow lock, but he's fine with that. Very, very lucky man. Get out of jail card was played there.
And have a look at this. Well, it is okay. And Qatari, the man who did so well, and I wasn't expecting him to be eclipsed in this particular part of the competition, but he has been by a kilo, and by some means Godelli of Albania has got the gold and kept himself alive, and there you can see it against Qatari from the B group, 3 out of 3. Martin of Romania also 3 out of 3, and he takes the bronze. So looking a little further down the order, the top 5 separated by just 5 kilos as we go into the break. Bit of a mixed emotion really after the first half of the competition there, Michaela, because obviously we would have liked to have seen Qatari in this group, because obviously, you know, could he have done more if he'd had the opposition?
Maybe he lifts better without the pressure. You never know.
Well, we're going to have a little review of the best lifts, and be interesting to see those again. So Razvan Martin for Romania, 3 good attempts, Michaela. This is the 3rd one, 158.
Yeah, superbly powerful. You can just see the explosion. And catches it so high, so dynamic. And yeah, 3 good lifts. That's what you want, consistency throughout the competition.
He was a decent lifter, European champion in 2012, total up 347. Here we are, 5 years on, and he entered a total of 345. I wonder whether he can live up to that. But he is only 25, so... Now Qatari in the B group. Well, again, 3 very good lifts, 160. This is a special effort from him.
Absolutely is. This is what we expect, you know. We're looking for really good, convincing lifts.
And now Gaudelli. Now, what do you say about this? I mean, you know, the odds were, having seen those 2 failures, did we really think he was going to do it? I have to say that I thought it was odds against.
Well, based on the fact, yeah, he played high-stakes poker, missed 56, missed 58, then went to 161. And, well, sign of a champion, somebody that can pull it out of the bag when it matters.
Yeah, and you've got to give him credit for that. So he leads the competition by a kilo as we move... in about 4.5 minutes towards the clean and jerk. And interesting here, remember, Qatari has achieved 200 kilos. He's the leader in the clubhouse with a total of 360. And when I look at the opening weights here, well, 186 from Gaudelli is as good as it gets. Also up there, Kedimai, his Albanian teammate. But will they deliver those weights? So this is the situation at the halfway stage, and as I said, Gaudelli by a kilo from Qatari, but then after Qatari, 160, 158, 157, 156, 155, so between second and sixth, only 5 kilos, so all to play for not only the gold and silver, but also the bronze. Well, still a minute and a half to go, but just reflecting on last night, one of the highlights that I gather all you back wherever you are in Eurosport land rather appreciated was not only the performance of the Frenchman Matam in winning the 69-kilo title, but the way that he, with great gusto, sang the Marseillaise.
Well, he's a character, that's for sure, and he demonstrated that with his back summy after his last lift as well.
So if you're just joining us, there is the state of play. Gaudelli escaped from jail to get the gold. Qatari from the B group just a kilo behind, and then 5 kilos separating second and sixth. So a lot to look forward to in this second half of the competition. Men's 77-kilo competition, 12 stone, 170 odd pounds, whichever way you like to count your money, so to speak. And the man who's going to come out first is going to be Sergey Petrov of Russia. 175 is opening. I can't believe the Russians have sent their top man to this competition in this weight category, given the choice that they would have had.
Well, hey, who knows?
I don't mean that.
Who knows what they're thinking at the moment?
Yeah.
I mean, you know, there's a lot of controversy been going on.
You know, he was the silver medalist in 2015 and 2016 at 69 kilos. So, to be fair to him, I mean, he'll be discovering this new weight category. So maybe that was the thinking, really. Well,
discovering a new weight category, now is the time to do it. Post-Olympic year, it gives you a few years to establish yourself and get ready in the next cycle for the next games. So probably the Russians thinking, well, you know, over those over those 2-3 years, we can bring him up to where we need him to be for Tokyo. So 175 kilos, and just to put it in perspective, remember, Dimitri Qatari of Romania, last year's overall bronze medalist, is now, at this moment, 25 kilos ahead of this man on just the clean and jerk alone. When you move weight categories, it takes time for your leg strength to catch up. Well, that looks a fairly solid opening attempt. Sergey Petrov of Russia. Well, he's got a total now. He's on the board, but still quite a way down. There's still 3 lifters from the B group that are higher, so he's in 4th place.
Yeah, I was just going to mention them because I think they're worthy of a mention. Ritvaz Suharevs of Latvia, who collected 150 kilos in the snatch, then 185 in the clean and jerk for a respectable 335. And then Alexander Smats of Moldova, 3 good snatch attempts, 148, and then 181 to take 329. And Alejandro Gonzalez of Spain, 140 and 180 for a total of 320. And also Andrei Birka of Moldova, 145, 175, 320 also. So some, apart from Dimitri Qatari, actually some pretty decent performances in the B group. And now Nico Muller for Germany, opening up here at 178 kilos. In 10th place after the first half of the competition. So 148 kilos, he's 12 kilos, 13 kilos in fact behind Godelli. Well, he's got the first one away. However, that is 10 kilos below what he clean and jerked last year in the Europeans.
Okay, but remember, this is a starting weight. It's not what you start on, it's what you finish on. So, you know, if he just takes conservative 5 kilo jumps, he'll be there.
And his teammate Max Lange now, also on 178. There'll be quite a bit of rivalry between these two to be top man out of the German duo here. Max, though, in 5th place at the halfway stage, so he's got a serious advantage over his teammate.
Well, textbook lifting from Max, superb to watch. Just a quick discussion with the coach about what weight they want to take. They don't have long to mess around and make those choices.
Germans, of course, with a great reputation in the sport, and of course they've got their own sort of Bundesliga of weightlifting.
Yeah, they've had a great setup for many, many years, and it seems to be still producing lifters.
We go to 180 kilos now. And this looks as if it's going to be for Martin of Romania.
Martin goes up, and now 180, 160.
But as ever, a change. Martin is going to move up. In fact, he's moved up to 185. And so this would see Langford come in. And Langford pushed out of the medals by Daniel Godelli of Albania, making that last gasp attempt in the snatch phase to grab the lead. But this man, only 4 kilos off the lead at the halfway stage.
Oh, I don't know. It was good right until the last second then. I thought I saw movement in his right elbow. Left of the screen as we look at it, he was fine. It was just as he recovered.
Not much movement from the jury. I think they're going to accept that.
So the left as we're looking at it. Oh, come on.
So Betula. Well, he's got to get over the disappointment that he didn't achieve a single lift in the first half of the competition, the Bulgarian. And again, noticeable last night, Mikhailo, 2 Bulgarians, but subpar.
Well, the Eastern Europeans now are looking a little bit on the average side. Can Yunda secure his opening lift here with 180?
Well, even that looked a bit heavy.
Better in the jerk phase. The clean was tough. He's on the board. He's going to try now and contend for the medals in the clean and jerk.
Yeah, not particularly elegant, but got the job done.
Watch the hips as he stands up with this. Out to the side. That's not great for the back. Good drive to arm's length.
And already Petrov out on the stage here. He wants 180 as well. Second attempt for him.
Oh, can he stand? His arms are good. He's okay.
Well, he almost buckled, didn't he?
Well, I think buckled is probably the right word. You know, 180 kilos, body weight sub 77.
Yeah.
You know, well over 100 kilos over body weight.
But as you look at it here, these wobbly moments are very expensive because you're using up whatever remaining energy you've got. Strength there, you can just see the movement, but as you say, he's got it, and in terms of the total, that's put him... Consider that in a second.
He's got Delhi in picture. So 130, maybe 140 for fives are on the bar as well. Looks comfortable. And these lifters in the warm-up room, well, they'll just be doing single lifts, building the weight up gradually until they get close to the weight they want to start on, saving as much energy as possible for the platform. The coaches in the middle of the room, well, they're gathered around the scoreboard, keeping an eye on any changes of weights from the opposition. And the lifters, well, they just do what they're told, and they wait to be called to take their first, second, third attempts.
Just a reminder, Dimitri Qatari from the B group, 360. And at this moment in time, he's still got a 23 kilo advantage over his closest pursuer, Vadim Likharad of Belarus. Rivas Suhares of Latvia now down to third place. He also performed well in the B group, and now Nico Muller. Nico Muller in 7th place overall now. And this is a 5 kilo increase, which will take him to 331. And that still wouldn't put him on the overall podium. And it wouldn't even put him into... Well, I'm just having a look here. Would it put him into the medals? Yes, he would.
Third in the clean and jerk.
Third in the clean and jerk, yeah.
Oh, dear me. Well, we had the problem on the snatch where he high pulled it. Now it looks like we've got the same mental barriers. Thing is, the bar is plenty high enough to drop under. Doesn't need to get it that high. It only needs to go to waist. Just by pulling and pulling on the bar, just delaying the time where he should be dropping. This is more a psychological barrier than anything. Well capable, got the bar plenty high enough.
Yeah, and on previous performances, well capable of handling this sort of weight. So as he tries to recover, just having a look at the other opening weights Godeli still posting 186. Marta for Romania, 185. 186 for Keremai. 186 for Mata of Spain. All of those four yet to start their lifting. Likharad of Belarus, 185 he wants for his second attempt. Max Lange, 184 for his second attempt. So,
well, this 1 kilo, well, not the 1 kilo rule, but the new rules now are going to be really, really important. No longer is body weight relevant. It's simply the lifter that gets to the weight first.
Yeah, but the odd kilo here and there isn't going to do the trick if you want to lower the colours of Qatari tonight. But the rules did illustrate, the new rule did illustrate in the first half of the competition that Godeli had to go that extra kilo to overhaul Qatari. And suddenly the lights have gone out in Nico Muller's mind, and that's the end of his lifting, I'm afraid. That's a very disappointing end to Nico Muller's campaign. It leaves him in overall 7th with, what, 326? And, well, last year, 341. So that's a German setback, I'm afraid. Or at least a Nico Muller setback. And now Max Lange, his teammate, now out for his second attempt. 184, 6 kilo increase. This to take him to 340. He's currently 4th overall. This will put him into overall silver. And, of course, 184 will put him into 2nd place in the clean and jerk.
Well, when you're that technically proficient, it looks effortless. I'll tell you now, he's working extremely hard, but the timing and the precision is absolutely spot on. Look at the slow-mo replay here. Explodes through the middle, lightning quick underneath the bar. Gets it off his windpipe. Big drive, catches it at arm's length. Great lifting from Max.
So, Marta, interesting in the competition hall here, because actually the spectators, particularly if they're not familiar with the sport, will be somewhat confused, because the ranking shows Max Lange going into the top position, whereas lower down on the scoreboard, Dimitri Qatari's effort hasn't been recognised in the sort of rolling total. So it's a bit confusing for those people. He ought to be at the top, Qatari.
So powerful, really explosive from Razvan Martin of Romania. Well, how close is he going to get to his teammate? He's got a fair amount of work to do.
Well, he could say that, yeah, because at the moment he's got 17 kilos to find and 2 attempts in which to do it. I think not.
Let's have a look here. Catches it high, doesn't even need to sit in. Big drive to arm's length. Flies up, not because he's using his arms, because his legs are very, very powerful.
Well, I suppose I ought to temper my thought that really 17 kilos is too much, because we have seen people do extravagant things in the past. We saw Godeli being a bit extravagant in the first half, but he got there. Likharad, also 185. That will take him up into 3rd place overall.
Well, we've got some fantastic technicians in this group. And there's one to watch. Textbook lifting. That's him.
Yeah, I was going to say that to 185. That is a new personal best. So all credit to them for that. And he still has yet another attempt to come. So he's just a kilo behind Martin. Petrov. Now Petrov looking for a 5 kilo increase here. 185 to go into the lead in the... Oh, sorry, not to go into the lead in the clean and jerk, but to level up with the likes of Martin Likarad.
Oh no, nearly. It was at arm's length. But that 2 kilos in body weight that he's giving away, he is giving away there 2 kilos technically of muscle mass. So the sooner he establishes the full body weight, the better that's going to be for him.
Yeah, just to clarify what Michaela's saying is the weight limit is 77 kilos. He weighed in at 75.15 and he's just moved up this season to 69 kilos. So not only has he got room to strengthen, but also this is clearly part of his education process.
Yeah, most lifters will be training 2, 3, 4, 5 kilos overweight. So the athletes that he's competing against here naturally will be weighing around the 80 kilo mark, and they'll then reduce body weight just before a comp.
The truth is, after you've weighed in 2 hours before the competition and then you rehydrate, nobody actually lifts at the body weight which they weighed in at.
No, these guys would be cutting weight probably for a good few weeks. So as soon as the weigh-in was over, they wouldn't have had a feast because they needed time to digest. So it would have been a small amount just to get them through this competition. But trust me, they'll have a feast tonight.
As might we. Now, Gudeli, 186 as planned, coming in here. Now, he's got the gold medal. He took that away, literally snatched it away from Qatari. Well, it wasn't the most perfect of exercises, but he does get the job done.
Well, surely Daniel Gudeli doesn't have what it takes to win the gold overall, does he? 198 is the best that he's ever done, but that was when he got banned as well, so surely he's not going to be at those kind of weights again. Clean was good. Arms are fine. He's got a soft elbow lock, but there was no movement in the elbows.
There is a school of thought which says get rid of the press out. Doesn't matter how you get the arms to lock out.
It'll become a very messy sport if that happens. Here, you have to have decent technique to be able to execute the movements efficiently.
Andres Mata opening up on 187. It's getting interesting now.
Well, no time to waste at all on the shoulders. The rules specify you've got to stand momentarily. Well, he was still for a split second. The bar may not have been. That does not count as oscillation. Excellent lifting.
Yeah, he's hauled himself up into 6th place, but remember, he was 11 kilos off the lead at the halfway stage, so he's got an awful lot of catching up to do. But he looks more comfortable in this discipline. So Gudeli in 2nd place, but still 13 kilos behind the leader. And Kedemai now, 188. And he has increased the opening weight here to 188. So first attempt.
No.
And he's only got one good lift out of 4 so far.
Well, you know what, I'm just looking at the stats that I've got on these lifters, and not one of these guys in the A group has ever clean and jerked 200 kilos. That's the weight that Qatari of Romania has already achieved from the B groups. So really, are we going to see anybody surpass the Romanian?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I think we could well be seeing a gold medal
I
from
was
the B
thinking
group.
that after the B group. I mean, it's extraordinary. Great performance. I just feel like I think a lot of you at home might be thinking at the moment you feel a bit cheated because the coach put him in at 320. Clearly, that was gamesmanship. Has to be.
Well, David, you were responsible for introducing the 20-kilo rule to make sure that lifters couldn't put their totals excessively high and make an A group when actually they didn't deserve it. Now we've got the opposite problem, so I'm delegating this to you to make sure it doesn't happen in the future.
Well, it has happened on a few occasions, so maybe it is time to have a think. Meanwhile, Max Lange out here, and this is for 6 out of 6 now. 4-kilo increase, looking to go to 344, which would put him into the overall bronze position. But he'd also be leading in the clean and jerk. Still quite a lot of lifts out there, so no guarantee he'd end up with a medal anyway, but this is... Come on. Well, new personal best all round, 188 and 344, and that's a good day at the office.
That's an outstanding day at the office, 6 from 6, personal best. I mean, what more can you ask? You hear the cheer from the coaches, and Max looks exhausted, and quite rightly so. So draining to stay focused for this long and to perform beyond anything you've ever done before.
But that's what you expect. You expect once you come to the 6th lift to empty the tank, so to speak, on that. So now, Betula, Yunda Betula, second attempt at 189. Now, this is one heck of an increase, 9 kilos. Obviously, you know what he's got in mind, which is to try and pull a clean and jerk medal out of the fire. But I'm not sure.
Well, the clean, if we remember, his hips went to one side as he stood up.
I can't find anything like this in his record. I mean, this is just...
181 is the best that I've got for him.
If he cleans it, it'll be amazing.
Oh, let go. Let go before something goes bang.
Well, you know, I know it was very obvious what he had in his mind, but and I can see why not going for I don't know 185 didn't seem.
Well, there's nothing in it for him. He hasn't got a total, so it's all or nothing. But the skew-iffness, if that's a word, of the hips, well, it's not good, and you're going to cause yourself an injury lifting like that.
The frustrating thing is that he sort of holds up the competition at a fairly crucial time for everybody else, which is a bit frustrating because obviously nobody else wants 188. He's pushed it up to 189, but Godelli looking at 191, Martin at 190.
It's interesting.
Marta 193. He's got 2 attempts left. Kedimai, who hasn't got a total yet, what's that, 190. But you see, only 2 attempts. He's not going to get to 200, is he?
I can't see any of these guys getting to 200, but Ras van Martin has had quite a long wait between first and second attempts.
Well, there's the overall position there. And you'd like to be Qatari, wouldn't you, with 13 kilos of advantage over your nearest pursuer at this moment in time. It shouldn't happen that someone in the B group comes up and let alone gets a medal, but gets the overall championship title. And I think the European Weightlifting Federation would be justified to at least ask the coach for an explanation.
There's nothing in the rules, though, to say you can't do it. So
no, I'm not saying that, but
maybe they need to look at the rules and introduce something so it doesn't happen again. But technically, he's not done anything wrong. No, I'm not saying he has. And, you know, as you said, that some lifters prefer not to have that sort of pressure. But then he doesn't need to answer to any questions. No. Don't ask, you don't get. Well, I'm afraid that's completely opposite to the excellent Max Lange. That's a rotten day at the office. Well, 1 out of 6 lifts, that's not good enough. Back to the drawing board. And here he's asking too much of himself, not capable of that weight. Well, I must say, this looks more like a competition now, which is all about who gets silver and bronze overall. This is Martin, Romania, same as Qatari, currently in 4th place, 5 kilo increase. And takes himself into overall silver. And the lead in the clean... No, sorry, 2nd place in the clean and jerk. Well, Ras van Martin, he is looking extremely impressive, but his problem now, he only has 1 more attempt. And I think to ask 11 kilos of him... Well, I've got more. I mean, he'd have to take 13 kilos. He's 348. For the gold on the clean and jerk. Oh, I mean, yeah, fine. Well, he might as well take 13 and go for the whole thing, to be perfectly honest. Now, Kedimai, in trouble. No total. First attempt failed. 190. We have a spot of bother here. Well... Miss 188, decided to gamble and go up to 190. It hasn't paid off. 1 attempt remaining to stay in the competition. Need to keep an eye on Mata, the Spaniard, you know, because he's going for a 6 kilo increase. His problem is that he was too far back in the snatch phase, but, you know, when you say that, he's on 337, 6 kilos, which is what he's looking at, 343. If he got the 2nd attempt, he'd have 1 shout to at least put himself on the podium. He's got a chance. I mean, he's not going to overtake Qatari, but he's got a chance of getting on the podium.
191, please.
So Godelli. So 191, 5 kilo increase. He's got on his mind, adding to the gold medal from the snatch, a definite overall medal, a medal in the clean and jerk. So 5 kilo increase would take him to 352, which would put him into second place overall and second place in the clean and jerk. But the way things are looking, Qatari's going to go home with a silver and 2 gold medals. So Gardeli, only his second attempt. We saw how prepared he is to be extravagant in the first half of the competition. So if he gets this, who knows what he might do. But he hasn't, and I think that's the end of it.
No.
Because he might add a few kilos on, but really what he's got to do is make sure that he stays on the podium.
Yeah, he's in bronze medal position overall at the moment, out of the medals on the clean and jerk. Question is, can he stay there? He's going to be following himself unless he goes up.
So, just looking there, Martin's put the bar to 195. So that sort of would force the issue with Gardella. And Mata 193. You've also got Likarad as well, because Likarad's got 1 attempt left, and he's going to, what's he going to take? Something like a...
Well, 192 is the weight he's opted for.
Well, yeah, it's just changed now. So this is a 7 kilo increase, which is going to take him to 349, which will put him into second place in the clean and jerk, second place overall.
Karamaj has gone up as well. He's missed his opening 2. He's increased the weight yet again. Bit crazy if you ask me, but all or nothing.
Like his teammate in the first half, but he pulled it off. So, Likarad, Belarus, and this for 349. His previous best total, 336. This is a very big question. He's asking, can he clean it? That's the first question.
Oof, something went then. Did you hear that? Oh, my goodness me.
Doctor's on stage very quickly.
Oh, he's just... he snapped something there.
Yeah.
You heard that go.
That's around the ACL knee injury area, isn't it?
Dear me. And he's been lifting so well. Oh. Well, the loaders have done a great job coming out to protect him from us, I guess.
Yeah, a little privacy while the doctor does his work. But I think you all saw very clearly there, that was a horrible moment. He's being gingerly helped off the stage there. And as ever, when that happens, we wish him a speedy recovery from whatever the injury ultimately is determined to be, but not a nice moment. Actually, and he's in some considerable discomfort.
You could hear it from where we were sat. I heard that go off. Went off like a shotgun.
Meanwhile, Gardeli, he's gone up a kilo. So Gardeli, 6 kilos, looking for 353 as the total. That's a clean. No, hasn't got the strength to put that bar overhead, and that means that he stays in overall bronze. However, he's not safe there, because if Mata of Spain comes out and he's got 2 attempts, he could just push Gardeli off the podium.
Yeah, drives as high as he can, just doesn't have the legs to get it all the way overhead. What a shame.
So, Andres Mata, the Spanish contingent, getting behind him now. This is his second attempt, 193. 6 kilo increase. And this would take him to 343. Come on, Andres. Oh. That's a real pity, you know, Michaela, because he needed that as the platform, the trampoline for which to use the third attempt.
Well, he's still got one more shot.
I know, but, you know, now he's got a big decision to make. He's, you know, he'd have to put the bar up if he wants to get into the podium positions. Got no choice.
Nothing to lose.
Kerimai. Well, this is to put it, Kerimai, as much as anything, into the silver medal in the clean and jerk. But there's still Razvan Martin with a lift to come. So the outcome still uncertain. Obviously, the last saloon is the place where the Albanians are most comfortable, and it's put him up into third place overall. 155, 193, 2 out of 6.
Well, he's enjoying himself after that lift. I'll be honest with you, I did not think he was going to get that. The first 2 attempts, well, they were nowhere near. 188, 190, both failed. He's gone up again, 193. This, a really gutsy effort. He's absolutely smashed it. Puts himself up onto the podium.
I mean, that's 2 Albanians who got out of jail, basically.
Well, both have played extremely risky calls of weights. Goodness me, going up, 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 miss, miss, miss.
But you know what the result of that, of course, is the fact that Godelli, his teammate, has now been pushed out of the medals overall. So he'll be well pleased with Kerimai. So Martin, 194.
Well,
not to be. Now, that leaves him in second place on 348. So Romanians 1 and 2. Dimitri Qatari. Well, what can you say, Michaela?
Gold medal from the B group.
Yeah, gold medal from the B group. A silver from the snatch. 2 gold medals. The only person who can possibly change the medal positions is the man now walking out on stage. You'll see him momentarily. His name is Andres Mata. He represents Spain. And the bar has gone up the odd kilo. He's sitting on 337. He wants 194. And he wants 194 because that would put him into second place in the clean and jerk. So this will be some consolation prize. The Albanians have pulled it out of the bag. Can he do this for himself and Spain? He has 30 seconds. Okay, the clean's okay.
No. I don't think so.
No.
I think that's going to be failed for a press out, I'm afraid.
Yeah. Oh, well, hang on. Don't be surprised if the jury...
It's 2-1, good decision, but the jury is stepping in.
Yeah, Georgina, the president of the jury, is right on her feet there. And jury stopped within a blink of an eye. And that will not stand, I'm sure. Have a look at this. Have a look at right arm. There's the press out. Well, you know, that was clearly a Spanish coach going, what's wrong with that? He knows very well what was wrong with that.
Well, they're kind of arguing the decision here. What are the jury going to say?
They can't argue the decision. He's not allowed to argue the decision. In fact, the rule states very clearly that coaches these days are not even allowed.
No, not the coach. The referees were trying to defend their decision.
Well, they shouldn't be doing that because it was a mistake.
So no lift.
And what I was going to say is now, once upon a time, we had a lot of people being quite aggressive to the jury, so they put a rule in which says you are not allowed to actually approach the jury. And you run the risk, if they did turn a lift in your favour, they can cancel it because you attacked the jury.
Well, so close, but so far. What a shame.
But it does mean that Dimitri Qatari from the B group has won the day and is champion of Europe at 77 kilos and made up of 160 kilos from the snatch and 200 kilos from the clean and jerk. It'd be really good to see those lifts again, actually. And we ought to show them to you again as well, because, you know, you haven't seen much of Mr. Qatari. We only showed you 2 lifts, and of course he did produce 6.
Well, that's not a nice sight, is it?
No, and that is...
Oh, no, he's not on there. They're just carrying the bags.
Yeah. Well, he's on there.
Oh, yeah, he's on the stretcher. I was looking at him. Well, let's hope he gets well soon.
Here's the result of the clean and jerk there, and Qatari by a healthy 7 kilos. And, you know, that's a terrific performance because it's 6 out of 6 lifts for him, and taking that gold medal in the clean and jerk. So total to come momentarily. Well, I don't know how they've done it, but somehow the Albanians is... Well, Godelli gets out of jail with a monster lift in the snatch to deny Qatari the gold medal, and then Kediman comes through with a last gasp 193, 348, and you can see, and he's pushed his own teammate off the overall podium. Max Lange, very good for Germany. Good evening. New personal best. Excellent. So the podium just being readied now for the presentations of medals. We're going to take a little break. We'll be back for the medal ceremony. And Michaela's thoughts on tonight's competition, and maybe we'll look ahead at tomorrow when it's the women's 75 kilo class, and that brings onto the stage a certain Olympic champion who we all enjoy, Lydia Valentin from Spain, who has been absolutely magnificent in her career. The consistency which she's performed at 75 kilos, and justifiably uprated. And there you can see Qatari, the winner of tonight's competition. Well, so